Yeah. Welcome to the Gunny Gumby Show. I can do it all, I will never fall. If the Renaissance, you know that I got the mother sauce. You know I'm the boss, I know what it.
Three. I don't understand why it does that. I don't understand why it does that. All right. Well, again, everyone, appreciate you, man, for coming out to the hangout. New day, same time. Bear with me tonight. I'm a little bit under the weather. I have enough Mucinex and cough syrup running through my system right now to make it through this hangout. So I appreciate you guys. But I was just yapping on to myself apparently. But I was just referring to how the New York Jets are an absolute disaster. How what we've witnessed. I mean, over the last 6 weeks, I don't think I've ever witnessed a product worse than what we've currently seen on the field. Topped off, mind you, by that heinous performance we just saw international. Like this was internationally known. This was for the whole world to see. Right? The Jets were supposed to be, I guess, embracing or sharing the game of football with the world. So everyone got to see that heinous performance on Sunday. Um, and I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I think this loss was on coaching. Now, don't get it twisted. Justin Fields was absolute ass. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. But coaching was a big factor, absolute big factor, and it also made a statement as to just how bad this was. Because I jumped on here the last time we did a hangout, which was after week 4, and I said to myself, I'm not there yet. I'm not that guy talking about fire the coach or that AG isn't the guy. But in all actuality, after you watch that game on Sunday, you've got to AG might not be the guy. He just might not be the guy. I appreciate you all joining up. I was talking about how Sean, appreciate you, man, being there. Vero Beach with the jokes about 11 and 6. Hopefully, I don't know if slaying Namath at this point would make a difference. I truly don't know like what the answer is when it comes to this team. Appreciate you, Wild Show, for calling me out on being muted. I was able to go ahead and get things going again. Can't hear anything. Try going in and out. Boom, you good now. Appreciate you guys. Thank you guys. Otherwise, I'd have kept on talking this entire time and wasted the entire show. Lozano, what's good, man? Been a while, man. Appreciate you, man. I had some stuff going on with my son. My kids are all in sports now, so last week couldn't do it. I had to help out the wife while she's taking the girls to volleyball. I had to take the son to baseball. Baseball practice went long. I wasn't going to jump on here just to go ahead and jump on here. I didn't get back in time. So it's nice to be back. Last week, same situation, which is why I've now switched it now to Wednesdays, right? So from now on, we're going to be doing the Hangar HangOut on Wednesdays. I've got more time on Wednesdays. I think it's just going to make more sense to go ahead and make sure I don't miss out on these opportunities to go ahead and chop it up with you guys. But yeah, like I was saying, man, like you guys are some real MVPs because the ability you have to go ahead and jump on any Jets podcast and just listen and relive these moments that this trash team that just doesn't care about us the way we care about them continues to put out there. It's extremely painful. I've gotten to the point now where we do this for us as a fan base. We're going to talk about how to make this team better. But man, listen, we might not have a coach, guys. We might not have a coach. I didn't want to be that guy to jump on here and then 6 weeks in, we're talking about not having a coach that we just hired. And I love the Aaron Glenn hire. I'm not going to come on here and pretend like I wasn't all in on that one. I was hoping this was the guy. I wanted Aaron Glenn to work out. I really did. But we've seen enough bad football to know what bad looks like, right? We watched it so much as a fan base that like, again, Lozano perfectly said, I had to stop watching 3 weeks ago. I couldn't let it ruin my Sundays anymore. It never ends. We've seen what bad looks like. We've been molded by it. Like it's the darkness that we have been raised in as fans of the New York Jets. And at some point, you've got to look at this thing and be honest with yourself. And there's no situation where I look at this team now and I'm feeling confident. I'm feeling confident that we've got the guy. That performance we saw on Sunday, again, Justin Fields was ass, but Aaron Glenn looked like he didn't belong. Looked like he was well over his head from the end of the 2-minute drill in the first half all the way to the last drive of the game where you have a chance to still win this game. And throughout the entire process, never making an adjustment to go to maybe, I don't know, Tyrod Taylor, because Justin Fields clearly couldn't see the field. It was abysmal to say the least. But let's talk about it. So, loss was on coaching. I'm gonna say that right now. The loss was definitively on coaching, and of course, Justin Fields added to that. But the defense showed up for the first time. We actually saw them put on a game. I'm not saying they were freaking lights out. I'm not saying they were doing amazing. I'm not saying that they were doing. I'm just saying they showed up. They did their job. They did enough to where the Jets should have won that game. I mean, it was a low-scoring game. This wasn't like a high-scoring affair. Low-scoring game. The defense did their job, and it's the first time for the season, right, that they've done their job. But they showed up. Obviously, whatever team meeting that they had where they talked to each other about how embarrassing it's been and that this isn't their brand of football, especially on the defensive side of the football where we all thought we had talent and we're just not seeing it on Sundays. They had a conversation. Boom, it resulted in them getting their first turnover of the season. The Jets got their first turnover of the season. You know what I'm saying? They were getting 3 and outs against Bo Nix. Now, mind you, this was a Broncos offense that was number one in pass blocking in the NFL, right? So Bo Nix would have had all day. How leaky our secondary has been, you would have thought he would have tore us up in terms of being able to get the ball to his receivers. They did their job. Defense showed up. Gotta admit, man, I appreciated what I saw. Y'all should appreciate what y'all saw. Hopefully this keeps on going. And then the special teams showed up. Special teams did their part. I mean, they've provided, and if I'm being honest, the majority of the points we got in the game was based off of the outstanding field position provided to us by special teams and, of course, by the defense. But then we go into the remainder of the game, i.e. the offensive component and the coaching component. And that's where it just, my gosh, man, it just looks horrible. I'm gonna show you guys something that I think speaks to speaks to what, how do I put this, to the gist of that game. I think it's just being blunt. This is exactly what that game entailed. This is what it looked like. So right here, this screenshot literally is the personification of what that entire game was like on offense. Justin Fields, clean pocket. You see two players you can make a decision to go to, either one of them. And what do you guys think happened in this play? I mean, most of you know because you watched the game, right? But this play resulted in a sack. Justin Fields was sacked 9 times this weekend by the freaking Broncos. Now I get it. The Broncos have a really good defense. They were already leading the league in sacks. By now they've got a massive stretch, right? Because Justin Fields gifted them 9 sacks. And I won't lie to you. I went back and I watched the game again. I don't know why I was there for myself, but I had to do it. I went back and I watched them all 22. Went back and I started watching other individuals break down game tape on it. And Justin Fields is doing the same shit that he was doing as a rookie. Justin Fields is doing the same things he was doing as a rookie. The same thing in terms of coming out of college. This slow processing, couldn't see the field, indecisive, couldn't make a decision. Bad timing on his throws, the slow release. It all showed up. Justin Fields looked like he hasn't taken a single step forward from year 1 into year 5. Now, I'm gonna be honest. I was definitely team Justin Fields. I was. I got on here and I spoke to you guys about Justin Fields and I stated to everyone, like, you know what? Justin Fields has improved. He's shown gradual improvement every single year he's been in the league as a passer. We already know what he brings to the table with his legs. Elite athlete in terms of his ability to scramble. We know that. And in my mind, when you have an elite trait at the quarterback position, you got to go ahead and be willing to gamble on some other things, right? I didn't feel like he was supported in Chicago. I didn't think he had the coaching in Chicago. I think with the Steelers, he had the coaching, but then he didn't have the support because they wanted to go with Russell Wilson. So I felt like, man, Aaron Glenn chose him. Muji chose him to be their guy. They let go of Aaron Rodgers, understandably so. Aaron Rodgers wasn't going to go ahead and make this team much better this year either. And what wound up happening is you're seeing the results of that decision. Justin Fields, with what I think to be one of the better offensive lines he's ever had to deal with. You give him his best friend in Garrett Wilson. You've got Ruckert in the building. You give him Breece Hall, who's going to assist him in the run game. You've put some components around him. Now, I wasn't expecting this dude to light it up because, again, wide receiver 2 is a real concern. It really is. But at least some serviceable stuff. We saw in week 1 against the Steelers what I thought to be really good football. And I wasn't expecting Justin Fields to do that for 17 games. I was expecting maybe we can get 75% to 80% of that for 17 games. And we'd be having fun watching football. We'd probably be talking about like, hey, he might be good enough to be the quarterback for the New York Jets next season. But Justin Fields, whatever happened in week 1 against the Steelers, in my mind, is that they were able to prepare for months for that game. Months. That they looked the way they did. They have the tape. That defense is predominantly the same. Yeah, they added Ramsey, but you already have tape on Ramsey from being a Dolphin. I feel like they had so much time to prepare for that game. That's why they look so good. That's why they look so good. They had months to prepare for that game. And because of it, they put on a performance for the ages, a performance that had us sold that, we might have a team. Our offense looked good. They moved the ball at will. Justin Fields was decisive, but it obviously was. They rehearsed that freaking game plan over and over and over and over and over again for months. That it became second nature to them. Now, you get into the season where you now have to prepare for games each week, and we now have the results of what we've seen the last 5 weeks of the season. Unprepared, undisciplined, indecisive. Justin Fields looks like a shell of what we thought he could potentially be. We don't have the quarterback. We just don't. At this point, we got to be real with ourselves and think we're going back to the drawing board in terms of quarterback. So we're drafting the guy next year. Justin Fields isn't that guy. He's just not, man. He isn't. He's a guy that it's exciting what he can bring with his legs. But what it boils down to is when it comes time to showing up on game days consistently, he just can't do it. Justin Fields is not a starting NFL quarterback. Honestly, is he even a reliable backup NFL quarterback? Because without the amount of preparation necessary to look like he did in week 1, you get this erratic version of Justin Fields that you've seen over the last 4 weeks. And I'm gonna. This is on me. I've argued and debated people about the potential that Justin Fields brings to the table. I've literally gone to bat for this dude like a dumbass. Just to be sitting here now at week 6 and I'm realizing like, damn, all right, he was never really the choice. He was never really the guy. It was obviously hyperbole, and well, here we are. Justin Fields is the quarterback for the Jets, but I'm done. I think at this point, if we want the Jets to really have a chance at winning games moving forward, that Tyrod Taylor should be the guy. Yeah, I've gotten to that point too. So there's more coming. But for me, when it comes to changes the Jets need to make in order for the rest of the season to be even remotely salvageable or entertaining, quarterback's got to go. Justin Fields' experiment was fun, right? We gave the kid a chance. There's a reason why the Steelers sat him down last year. The moment freaking Russell Wilson, who looks like a bum, was healthy. He's limited. His ceiling is really, really low. And other than the excitement he brings you with his legs, you can't get down 2 scores in a game and feel confident you've got a quarterback that can actually play the game the way it needs to be played in order for you to go ahead and have a chance. Justin Fields ain't it. He ain't it. And I was wrong. I was definitively out there running my mouth talking about how oh yeah, man, you guys just watch. This could be the year he put it all together. This kid has been freaking showing steady improvement every single year. So, like, to the Tigos of the world, my apologies, man. You were right. I don't know why I debated you about that. I don't know why I argued and fought for this thing. Like, there were so many individuals. I'm using stats like I don't know ball. I'm using stat lines to prove, hey, look, he can play ball. He's shown improvement. And then people are using stat lines now like, well, he's the only quarterback without an interception on the season. He can't throw the ball. It's easy not to get interceptions when you're not throwing the ball. Like, the man had a -9 freaking yardage differential over on Sunday. Like, -9. It's gross. Justin Fields is not an NFL quarterback. He's not. If this coaching staff wants a semblance of turning the tide from the fan base, you're gonna need to go ahead and give Tyrod Taylor an opportunity to start at the quarterback position. There's no offense or buts about it. That's the only way you can go ahead and recoup. You can recoup some of this pain that you've put us through. I see a lot of y'all popping up, man. I apologize if I ain't calling you guys out. Vero Beats was good. Sean, Miguel, what's going on, brother? Appreciate you for being in the chat. Sean says, Darren Muji sucks, bro. We didn't get shit in the offseason. There was a lot of available, but the answer was not an all-in season. Didn't know what that meant. You didn't care what we picked up this year. Now, question marks for Darren Muji as well. There's just some things that would have just made too much sense that we didn't do, especially when it comes to our defensive line on the edge specifically. Without Jermaine Johnson, we've noticed that the defensive line can't get any kind of pressure. Question marks in regards to the interior when it comes to Quinnen. Like now we're talking about trading some of our best players because it's that kind of a rebuild. This team is really starting over. It's tough, man. It's so tough. It's so tough being a Jets fan because we are in a situation now where we thought over the last couple of years we were a player away. Like we all were saying that, right? Oh man, we're close, just a player away. We just need to go ahead and get the quarterback right. We brought in Aaron Rodgers. Obviously, we weren't a player away. You know, Aaron Rodgers is now, I think, tied for second in the AFC right now with the Steelers, with a roster around him. Like we thought we had a roster. Like we thought like we had a stacked roster. And I mean, it wasn't just us. Like NFL columnists were writing about how the New York Jets have an incredible freaking roster, right? Like it wasn't true. It wasn't true. You're seeing these guys now. And what's crazy is I'm starting to wonder whether or not Saleh knew what he had in terms of the defense, whether or not Saleh understood the limitations, which is why he was so bullish on not moving players around and wanted them to stay where they were at because, hey, the defense looked good the last couple of years under Saleh's scheme. The defense now, I don't know what the hell those guys are doing. So a lot of this stuff now is starting to come to light where I'm wondering, like, man, how much of the scheme made these players? Because now I don't know if you look at Sherwood, you know what I'm saying, as a linebacker who shocked us, and we were all like, hell yeah, pay the kid. He's been mid as well. The sad truth is, man, like if you look at the remaining games for the New York Jets, including the Panthers coming up here on Sunday, you don't have a lot of confidence. There's not a lot of confidence in regards to what this team can do or achieve. There just isn't. I don't know if there's a win on the schedule. I looked at the schedule before, and I know I did the whole thing, and I said, we could possibly win 10 games. I was saying that was the high, that was the ceiling, right? I was expecting 6 games, you know what I'm saying, maybe 7, because I just assume coaching matters, right? Which clearly it does, as proven by the Jaguars and the Bears and the freaking Patriots. If you get the coach right, a lot of things can turn around really fast. And this brings me to AG, and why I think I'm out on AG, man, and call me ridiculous because it's early, but I want to share this before I go into my rant on on AG, because this was an awesome tweet that I saw earlier today by Capstradamus, for all the be patient assholes. New England is happy they weren't patient with Mayo, fired after 1 year. Denver is happy they weren't patient with Hackett, fired after 1 year. Jacksonville is happy they weren't patient with Urban Meyer. I mean, his situation was really ridiculous, though, in that 1 year. Meanwhile, Tennessee clearly not happy they were patient. Chicago wasn't happy they were patient last offseason, et cetera, et cetera. And I understand the idea of, like, oh, my gosh, like, you can't fire somebody after 1 year. Listen, the Jets have done this thing where they've let people, the coaches, bad coaches, drag this franchise down for several years. And then just for us to roll right into a whole new freaking coaching staff, and here we are, staring right down the barrel of another freaking 4 rebuilds. We're about to have the first overall pick in the draft. We got to go ahead and draft a quarterback, obviously. And you've got to ask yourself legitimately, like, are we in a situation that we feel confident that this coaching staff can handle developing a franchise quarterback? Because if you don't have the quarterback, clearly it's a wrap for you, right? But if you don't have the coaching staff that can develop the quarterback, that sucks too. How do I know this, you ask? Sam Darnold. Geno Smith looks pretty decent. Look what Daniel Jones is doing right now in Indianapolis after leaving freaking the Giants. the coaching staff being able to adapt the scheme or untap whatever potential you have matters when it comes to these young quarterbacks. And my gosh, man, do we want to give this regime, from what we've seen so far, the opportunity to put us further into freaking a rebuild? Like, and I think that's where, for me, I get kind of nervous. I do, because I don't know why this is the norm, right? We have to go ahead, for some reason or another, give AG 2, 3, 4 years to figure this thing out. Because I'm looking at other teams right now, and I'm mad. Like, I'm salty. I'm salty because the Patriots went from being champions to being non-existent, like non-factors, to going through a full rebuild, and they look light years ahead of us already, as we've been in the same stage of rebuilding for over a decade. The freaking Jaguars, who we all thought Trevor Lawrence was a huge bust, which I still think he's a bust, but Liam Cohen goes over there, and he's able to go ahead and change the culture of that team. They're winning close games now. They're doing their thing. The Chicago Bears, I still think Caleb Williams. I don't think he's going to be a stud. I don't think he's going to live up to the first overall pick. He's just not, in my opinion. But Ben Johnson's over there, establishing the new norm, and people start buying into it, and you're seeing those results as well. Like, look, man, and people are going to say, when I use the Vrabel thing, he's not a first-time head coach. Okay, last year the Patriots were considered to be a expansion talent level franchise. And in one offseason, they're tied for first, and I think they're actually ahead of the Bills right now, but they're tied for first in the AFC East. You know what I'm saying? 6 weeks in. I'm over we've got to wait the patient thing, man. We've done the patient thing. And it hasn't worked out for us as a fan base. At this point, we know what bad looks like. Are we going to sit here and debate that what we've witnessed from AG isn't horrendous? It's been horrible. Let's go down the list on what just happened on Sunday alone. So on Sunday, the New York just have an opportunity to win this game. They really do. I believe there were several miscues that, had a competent coach been behind or on the headset, the Jets win that game. Like, seriously. I also believe that the Jets could have won that game, like, decisively, like maybe 2 scores. Because it just seemed simple looking at how the game played out. First things first. So we're doing a 2-minute drill. The end of the first half. Now, you get the ball in the second half, and you're down, and you have an opportunity to go ahead and get points on the board. You decide that on 4th and 1 on our side of the field to go for it with the fake punt. A stupid play, mind you, because when you look at the fake punt, the starting offensive line and Breece Hall were out there for a special teams play. I'm not sure how you were hoping to fool anybody, but you didn't. The only reason we got it, barely, was because our offensive line did big boy things and was able to go ahead and get Breece. We got the half a yard necessary to get the first down. You didn't even try to hide it. You went for the fake punt, but you didn't surprise nobody. When the starting running back and the starting offensive line is out there, everyone kind of knew where this was going. Anyway, you get it. And then you proceed to be lost. Like, so lost that your number 1 wide receiver is confused. Why aren't we running a play? Why aren't we trying to go ahead and get points on the board? Like, why aren't we making a move right now? We got the first down. We get the ball back in the second half. Let's do something. They ran the clock down. A minute off the clock. Aaron Glenn on the sideline looking lost as hell. Like, I'm screaming. Screaming at my iPad, because I was at my son's baseball game, so I watched the game on the iPad. Screaming at the iPad, like, what are you doing? Go for it. Do something. Throw the ball. Launch the ball downfield. Hail Mary. Something. Anything. maybe you get a freaking flag on a Hail Mary. Maybe you a nice pass. Garrett Wilson beats somebody. You get into the end zone. Like, so many things could have gone right, and or you throw an interception. You throw an interception, and then now you're on that side of the field anyway. Get the defense back out there, and let's get a stop. But you went for it on 4th and 1 on our side of the field, just to not do anything after the fact when you had time. You like the whole. I'm still trying to understand what he saw, and then you hear him in the press conference trying to explain it, and it sounds like my son getting an incomplete in for not doing his homework, and I'm asking him, like, why didn't he do his homework? And he's just making it up on a whim. He's 10, making up 10-year-old processing capabilities kind of excuses. That's what Eric Glenn did. The excuses he was making made zero sense, especially when he's trying to say, like, oh, you know what I'm saying, we knew we were going to get it back on the second half, and we didn't want to go ahead and risk it or jeopardize nothing. But, bitch, you went for it on 4th and 1 on our side of the field, and you got it. So what do you mean you weren't trying to go ahead and jeopardize it? It made zero sense. So then I'm like, oh, my God, that I felt like he wasn't the guy on Sunday, but I'm really starting to believe he's not the guy now. But then, okay, forget it. We bypass it. You decide to not do anything. You piss off your starting wide receiver, and Garrett Wilson, man, more power to him, man. The dude, he just knows how to say all the right things. Because when he was asked this at a presser, you can tell he was fighting a good fight to not say, it was stupid, it was dumb. I don't understand why you would go for it on 4th down on our side of the field and get the first down, but not make a move to actually freaking. It made no sense to me, made no sense to him, but he sat there like a good freaking number 1 wide receiver or face of a franchise kind of guy, and he goes, yeah, nah, you know what? I didn't understand it, but after I spoke with him, it made sense to me. What made sense to you there, Garrett Wilson? Oh, you know what their vision was and what they were going for. It didn't make sense to Garrett. It didn't make sense to Garrett. You know why? Because he couldn't tell you what made sense to him when they kept asking him that. And I'm still sitting here trying to figure out what he's talking about. Y'all are still trying to figure out what he's talking about. It didn't make sense. But that's a franchise guy. Not going to throw his coach under the bus. Got to respect it. Love that about the kid, man. Again, glad he's going to be the face of the franchise moving forward. But damn it, man. You've got your young stars questioning the competence of the coach, because now Garrett's in the heads is like, damn it, man. I know he's a first-year head coach, but that seemed easy. Like, mind you, two-minute drills, I think if you've ever played football, like pee-wee football, like it's something you practice and you rehearse, like it's known what you will do in a 2-minute drill, especially in the situation when you get a first down and there's plans for this. Pee-wee coaches, pee-wee football, you're learning this stuff. This is an NFL head coach that had no plan for a 2-minute drill at the end of the first half after you got a risky first down off of a 4th and 1. Make it make sense, because you can't make it make sense. Like, and that was when I was swinging that air. At the same time, trying to clap for my son and his team while they're playing baseball. That one did me in, man. That one did me in. I was furious because it didn't make sense then. So then, you know what? Forget it. You come back into the game, second half, and again, nothing's happening. Offense can't do shit. They can't move the ball. Defense is doing their thing. Special teams is doing their thing. Offense, non-existent. It's almost as if Justin Fields got dumber going into the halftime. Like, it was almost as if they put on another layer of blind, those drunk goggles where you can't see what's going on, right? You're just standing there like he couldn't see defensive linemen coming at him after 3-4 seconds of holding the ball and just getting sacked consistently. So you watch that for another freaking quarter. And at that point, every Jets fan is doing the same thing I'm doing. I know you are. Sit this bitch and get Tyrod Taylor out here now. He can't see the field. He can't throw an accurate pass. He can't throw it on time. Why are we still watching this? This game is still winnable. You're freaking playing in London, the international stage. You're embarrassing us internationally now. Get this bum off the freaking field, man. Bring in Tyrod Taylor, because at this point, Justin Fields is seeing ghosts, or not seeing them either, because he at least tried to dodge those. He saw nothing. He just kept getting hit by everything and anything coming from the freaking Broncos. So I'm yelling, get him out of there. Get that bum out of there. Put in Tyrod Taylor. Never happens. Never happens. That's strike 2 for me. So Aaron Glenn, you're watching this kid struggle. You're watching this for an entire game. You realize he's not seeing it. He's making horrible throws. He's holding on to the ball way too damn long. His vision issues that has been known his entire career are being highlighted. Like I'm counting seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4 seconds before they're getting to him and sacking him. Like when I tell you guys that this is the personification of what the game was. I'm not making that up. So many missed opportunities on the field from the first quarter to the fourth quarter because Justin Fields, indecisive bitch, could not. There's 2 in front of you, throw it to one of them, man. I'm hearing people talking about like, oh, you're crazy. He couldn't throw that ball. There's no way because they're covered. This is the NFL. This is open. This is NFL open for both guys you see here. That 82, I think that's Arian Smith, and I want to say that's freaking Mason Taylor up top. Both of them are NFL open. Justin Fields takes a sack on this play. A sack. The very personification of the entire game is this screenshot right here. And it's like there's nothing more for me to tell you about it. But we're in the third quarter. We're going through the fourth quarter. Do you know who's still out there playing quarterback for the New York Jets? Justin Fields. Now this is the game where the Jets are still capable of winning it. They're right there. I mean, again, it wasn't a high scoring game, and instead of the head coach making an adult decision to talk to his quarterback, sit him down, he decides to keep him out there. Again, like I said before, for me, that's when I realized, like, all right, this might not be the guy. It started to in my head. I'm like, this might not be the guy. How do you not understand this? So far, the defense has gotten you a safety. So the defense have scored points. The defense and special teams have gotten you within field goal range themselves, and they've gotten you points. When is the offense going to get us points? When is that going to happen? When is that part of the game that we get to see? So we're in the fourth quarter. Again, Jets are still in it. Denver Broncos finally take the lead with their freaking field goal. So it's 13-11? And you knew then the game was over. I knew it was. I don't know about you guys. But at 13, that the Jets can figure this thing out. Like I just don't. I don't know why I felt this way at 13 to 11. I'm thinking to myself, like, you need a field goal to win this game. You know, you have the legs of freaking Justin Fields, but maybe at some point you realize you got to bring in Tyrod Taylor. I think at this point, if you get Tyrod Taylor, then you understand the assignment, and that goes a long way. So here I am hoping that our new coach is going to make the adult decision to bench his struggling quarterback and to bring in the veteran, the guy that's capable of doing this thing at big boy levels, the guy who's able to go ahead and play NFL quarterback at an NFL level. He doesn't do that. He doesn't pull Justin Fields. So here we go, all the way down to the wire. Defense comes up big again, man. Defense comes up big again, and they're able to make a stop. And do you know what happens? I'll say what happens. Justin Fields goes back out there. And my screen is, I see my camera flickering. I'm not sure what's going on with it because it's not flickering in the system. Like, that's not flickering. It's actually in the software. So RE Stream is doing a thing that it's going to need to figure its life out because that's very annoying. So I'm going to try, as I'm talking, I'm going to try to do something here in the back. But they send back out Justin Fields. So here we are. Just got the ball after the defense had an incredible stop. And now you're just hoping that maybe by some miracle we're able to go ahead and pull this off. Now, I'm not saying we're going to. I'm not saying that. But you're hoping. The entire time, again, I knew, you knew that this game was over. We weren't fooling ourselves. But the hope was still there. So Justin Fields goes back out there and he proceeds to do the same thing he's been doing the entire time he's been out there. Not play quarterback at an NFL level. And in that process, somehow, some way, the New York Jets again get a much needed stop. Or not a stop. They get within range. Within range of the field goal. And you see Garrett Wilson make run a beautiful route, an out route to get to the side, but his defender slips. Garrett Wilson doesn't throw him the ball. He finally does throw him the ball when it's, of course, too late because it's, again, bad timing. Justin Fields doing Justin Fields things. And that's mind you, is also the same play that got Justin Fields hurt. So that's also how Justin Fields got hurt. But a horrible throw that didn't give Garrett Wilson a chance. But you'll see the Justin Fields truthers come out and they'll tell you, like, nah, man, it touched Garrett Wilson's hands. He should have caught that ball. But anybody who watched the game realizes, like, no, it's a horribly placed ball. It also got Garrett Wilson hurt. He didn't have a chance. He's made some crazy freaking circus catches before, but that shouldn't become the norm expected of him just because he can and has done it. I mean, give the guy an easy ball. It was an easy throw. You didn't have to do much. It wasn't going to be like you saved the day, but it would have put us in field goal range, and it would have even potentially gotten us the first down. But instead, he misses that. So now we're at 62 yards away. At this point, I threw my hands up and I said, well, Nick, it's on your leg, man. I'm going to need you to go ahead and get this field goal and end the bleeding. This 5-game losing streak, we can't go down 0-6. It's just embarrassing at this point. Kick the field goal. What does Aaron Glenn do? What does Aaron Glenn do? Wind up doing? Instead of sending out Nick Folk, he trots out Justin Fields on 4th and long to try and get us a first down. Justin Fields to try and get us a first down. And what do you think happened? Well, again, I know you guys know, so I'll just stop playing around. Justin Fields gets sacked again, holding on to the ball, knowing it's 4th down, knowing that they need a chance, they need a shot, rather than just catching the ball and throwing it up, something, trying to get it out there. He holds on to the ball for another 3 to 4 seconds. He gets sacked. game's over. I sat there, man, and I knew then we messed up, Jets fans. We did. Um, Aaron Glenn ain't the guy, man. He ain't the dude. And 6 weeks in, for the crowd of no, you gotta be patient. We've seen this before, man. We've seen this all too often before. We know what bad football looks like. Man, I feel like at this point, it's a joke almost. It's got to be a joke because Aaron Glenn looks lost. He looks lost, and I think there's love for him from this fan base. I do. I again, big fan of Aaron Glenn. I was happy about the hire when it happened. And a lot of us are wanting to be more patient with Aaron Glenn because he wanted to come here. He is, of course, a former Jet, was a stud for us. You've seen him go ahead and kind of, earn this opportunity the right way by, going from scouting to coaching to positions coach all the way up to becoming a defensive coordinator. He's worked with some of the greats, your Bill Parcells, your Sean Paytons. Dan Campbell right now is one of those coaches that you really got to admire. And you're hoping he's the guy. You just are, and I'm guilty of it as well. I was hoping he was going to be the guy. And to be honest with you, this whole thing wouldn't be as bad for Aaron Glenn if he didn't set expectations, right? So let me explain this. I know when he came in, there was a set of expectations by Jets fans, content creators. This was going to take some time. We thought to ourselves, all right, we need a quarterback. We got to fix him. It's going to take some time. But Aaron Glenn came in, and he told us that this was going to be easy. He said all it was going to take was some good coaching, pumping himself up. Talked about the coaching was going to be the key component to turning this thing around and turning it around fast. He set expectations that we knew better of, but he made it appear to have known more about football than we do. And so we believed him. We trusted him. You know what? He's the head coach. We're thinking it's going to take time, but he's telling us no, it's not. So he obviously knows what he's talking about because he knows more ball than we do. And now we know that wasn't the case. Now we know, well, shit, if you had just left it alone, we thought we had work to do. And you didn't tell us this whole dream of nah, we've got the players, we've got the components. It's all about coaching, and I'm a coach. I coach offense. I coach blah, 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 freaking peacocking all the damn time. You probably by now wouldn't have half the fan base I'm done. Because we've been grown accustomed to this needs time. That's been the story for every coach we've had here. But you told us, Aaron Glenn told us, that this was going to be easy. This was a coaching issue. I'm going to come in here with my coaching staff. I'm going to clean this thing up, and we're going to be winning football games. We're 0-6 now, 6 weeks in, and all I can think of is he even competent? Because if we as fans kind of knew this might take time, but then he, of course, sold us the dream that it really wasn't going to take that long, and it's clearly taken longer than we anticipated. Does he know ball? Because he was wrong. We kind of saw this coming. He's the one that also decided, he wanted Justin Fields. But you're going to put the ball in Justin Fields' hands to get a first down, vice going for a 62-yard field goal when you've watched the guy, Justin Fields, pretty much, -9 yards of offense on the day. You thought, I'm going to send him out there to go ahead and give us he was your best chance to win the game. You also had Tyrod Taylor. Every decision he made in that game was compounded by the fact that the game was winnable up until there were zeros on the clock. And he didn't make a single decision that made sense, from the 2-minute drill to keeping Justin Fields out there, not playing Tyrod Taylor, to putting the ball in Justin Fields' hands, vice kicking the damn field goal at the end of the game. If you kick the field goal and you miss at the end of that game, you know what? A lot more focus is now on Justin Fields being bad that game than Aaron Glenn is incompetent. But here we are. Aaron Glenn is incompetent because he made the decision to bring out Justin Fields, to put the game in Justin Fields' hands when he's proven to you all game he was not up to the task. AG was a great player, man. He was. AG is a great dude, man. I think he's probably an awesome cat. Probably fun to hang out with. AG, good coordinator. I wouldn't say great or elite, but good coordinator, right? He's seen programs get built up the right way. We know he has that, but not everybody is built to be a head coach. Some people are just built to be coordinators. And in the case of Aaron Glenn, I'm sorry to say it, man, but I think we got it wrong. I think Aaron Glenn might just be that dude that's a great coordinator, but cannot elevate to the role of head coach because it's a different hat. It's a different skill set. And he's 0-6. 0-6. And he does have one highlight reel of him giving us that little dance, you know what I'm saying, early in the season. And he'll probably be known for that when we're 0-17. For his little dance in the beginning of the season. But that's a whole meme he's now given to our haters, our doubters, our etc. I don't like this being the thing. Like, I really don't. I just feel like 6 weeks in, has he really given us anything to look at and think to ourselves, you know what? Yeah. Nah, he's got this. We can build off of that. There's nothing he's shown us in 6 weeks that says we can build off of that for the better. I don't think AG is the guy. I don't. It sucks to have arrived at that 6 weeks in. I really thought to myself we'd be able to get through a season before we have to be at this point. But the fact of the matter is, man, the game just looks too fast for him. He doesn't look like he belongs. And then every time he gets on the podium or and talks about he did another great week of practice, or you being all freaking angry because you being asked questions about the injury to freaking Garrett Wilson. He's the best player on our freaking offense other than maybe Breece Hall. Yes, we're concerned about the injury. Why are you getting salty because we're asking about the injury? Like, it's frustrating. The Jets have, oh my gosh, they got 11 more games. They've got 11 more games. 3 more before our bye week. We got 2 more before the bye week. We got the Panthers next, and then we got the Bengals after that. Now, if you had asked me like 4 weeks ago, I'd have been like, all right, man, we can definitely beat the freaking Panthers. We could beat the Bengals with no freaking quarterback. Now, I don't know if this team wins a game the rest of the season. I don't see a win, you know what I'm saying, like an easy game for the Jets for the remainder of the season. You know, we got the Panthers this week. We've got the Bengals next week, bye week. Then we've got the freaking, I think it's the Browns, then the Patriots, then the Ravens, then the Falcons. The Dolphins are probably going to wax us again. Then the Jaguars, the Saints. I'm going to that game. That's going to be embarrassing. The Patriots look really good in the Bills. Yeah, I don't see a game this year where I can sit back and be like, yeah, man, this could be the one. The New York Jets are going to finish the season and have the number 1 overall pick. I think that's without question. That's going to happen. I think the real question is do we really want to put the keys to this franchise in the hands of a guy that didn't know he should have sat his quarterback after 3 quarters of his quarterback, netting him negative yardage? 3 quarters. In a game, mind you, that you were still in because your defense and your special teams have been playing good football. I don't know, man. I don't know if why are we going to wait if an opportunity presents itself for us to go ahead and get an established. I don't want to do this rookie coach thing anymore either, if I'm being honest. I don't. You know, if you can get me, if John Harbaugh's seat is really like, that's a hot seat right now because the Ravens want to let go of him. Okay, cool. Bring in Harbaugh. If John Gruden continues to win in the courts about this stuff with the suing the NFL, bring in Gruden. I'm not even opposed to bringing in a guy like McCarthy or Rex Ryan. I just want an adult in the building, man. I do. I want an adult in the building. I don't think we've had an adult in the building since I guess Todd Bowles, because now Todd Bowles has finally come into his own. He's matured and he's doing some big boy things in Tampa. But I guess that's probably the last coach we've had that's actually proven that he's competent and he could go somewhere else and be a head coach. I don't want to play this game, man, with the rookies. We can't develop coaches. We can't develop quarterbacks. Bring me a coach that can develop a quarterback, maybe. Right? Bring me a Gruden. I would welcome Gruden with open arms. Bring in Harbaugh if he does get let go. But find a guy, man, who's been there and done it before. Pay him whatever he wants. You know what I'm saying? This whole thing about, you paid freaking AG all this money. Who cares, man? Woody's a billionaire. A billionaire. The contract for AG, he found that cash in his freaking couch cushions. He's a billionaire. I get to the point now, man, where it's going to be a long season. I see Tigo's in the building. I got Tigo in the building. Sorry, guys. My medicine's wearing off, so now I can't breathe through my nose. I got to go take more meds. Infrared, what's good, brother? How you doing? Jets Worldwide, what's going on, man? What's going on? I just haven't like this does kind of suck seeing Aaron Rodgers succeed right now. But this doesn't surprise me at the same time, though. Like if you watch the Steelers games, like I've watched the Steelers games, like Aaron Rodgers is, I mean, I don't think he's passed. He's had I think the longest air yards is like 12 yards or something like that. Like, he's not playing lights out football, and the Steelers are better coached and they have, I guess you can say, better weapons. I mean, I don't really think so. I think we have better running back and a better wide receiver, but they've got, a tight end room that I guess, you got to appreciate. And they've got DK Metcalf, who's playing like he's found a new resurgence. I don't think Aaron Rodgers is playing as good as everybody thinks he is. Like, I know I've seen a lot of people that are upset that we let go of A-Rod to bring in Justin Fields. We weren't winning. We weren't going to be 4-1 or whatever they are with Aaron Rodgers as a New York Jet. That wasn't going to happen. And Aaron Rodgers right now is also probably riding a lot on emotion because of the fact that he feels scorned of how things ended for him. The Steelers to me aren't winning the Super Bowl. Like, they're not going to go to the Super Bowl. Like they're doing the same thing they always do every single year. They beat teams they're supposed to beat. They'll probably make it into the playoffs, and then they get a first round exit. Right now, the AFC North is in shambles, which is a good thing for them as well. So that's a benefit. Like, I wouldn't consider. We've got the Bills and the Patriots in our division. Patriots are playing really good football right now. Drake May looks like what we all feared. Well, I didn't fear. I thought he was going to be a bust. I thought he was freaking big-bodied Zach Wilson. I know freaking Tigo is feeling really good right now. He loved Drake May in the draft last year. But, yeah, he looks like a stud. Like, my gosh, man, he's like a stud. So that's frustrating. Oh, here we go. Tigo's in the building. Let him cook. Harbaugh ain't getting fired. Gruden isn't working in the NFL ever again. Best choice we have is as a rookie OC turn head. No, I disagree. I disagree. I don't think that's the case. Right now, we've got fans of the Ravens asking for the firing of Harbaugh. You know what's crazy? We've got fans of the Buffalo Bills asking for the firing of their coach. I always forget his name, but their coach. Like, could you imagine being in a situation as a Jets fan, and being able to look at your head coach who's got you on top of the division, who's gotten you the last 4 or 5 AFC East championships, been in the playoffs every single year for the last 5 years, and you're upset because right now you're 4-2, and he's not meeting expectations. Like, I'm envious of those guys. Like, I think Dan Mitchell is one of the big YouTubers for the Buffalo Bills. He did a video today, and I actually had a comment on it because I was sitting there like, imagine being a fan and having expectations for your team. Like, and if they're not meeting those expectations, like you're willing to go ahead and call it. And I'm envious of that because we set the bar so low for the New York Jets, and we're willing to accept mediocrity. Like, we're begging for mediocrity, and they missed that mark by a mile consistently, very easily. And we're talking about, give AG more time. Give him a chance. What? What? Why? What? You've got teams who are better than us with better coaches, but they know that coach isn't going to take them to the Super Bowl, or they feel they won't, and they're like, yeah, nah, I'm done with this experiment. We've got the talent, we've got the players. Give me a coach that can go ahead and lead us all the way. Like, I'm telling you, man, like it's just night and day in regards to us versus other fan bases. I really believe we have Stockholm syndrome, man. We've just embraced getting abused and beaten up by our franchise. That our expectations are set low, and we applaud mediocrity, man. It's beyond frustrating. Do you consider guys like Kingsbury as vet head coaches? Because that's a different story than Cliff Kingsbury. I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to it, right? You've seen a couple of guys have to do the coaching thing, a couple of different locations for it to hit. I mean, again, case in point is freaking Todd Bowles. Yeah, man. I'm at this point. Who's the vet head? Tigo, I don't know. I know one thing. We're not going to win games with freaking Aaron Glenn. We're not going to win a Super Bowl with Aaron Glenn. We're not. He keeps referencing freaking the Lions and whatnot and Dan Campbell. He's not Dan Campbell. He keeps talking about, like, I call Bill Parcells and Tony Dungy. Why are you calling those guys? Why are you calling Bill Parcells and Tony Dungy for advice about the NFL in 2025? Those guys were great coaches in their heyday. They were. But that's like calling Tom Landry. Like, they gotta get Tom Landry on the phone and get experience. Like, these guys are dated. I'm sorry, they're dated. They haven't been coaching in the NFL in the 21st century. I feel like I could say that. Like, so what are we doing calling these old guys to go ahead and get information? Find somebody who's successful in the league. Call Dan Campbell. Call Dan Campbell. He's doing it right now in the league. I mean, granted, they haven't won the big one yet, but they've been exciting. The franchise has turned around. He set a culture there. He set a tone there. Why are you talking to Bill Parcells and Tony Dungy when you just left Dan Campbell? Call that dude. I bet you Ben Johnson isn't calling some old, dusty, used-to-be coaches to get information. I bet you he's probably talking to some guys who's doing it at a successful level in the NFL. Like, these are the kind of things I'm talking about. Like, he keeps using the name dropping these guys like it's supposed to validate him. Oh, yeah, I got freaking Parcells on speed dial. And Tony on speed dial. Like, why are you calling? Call freaking Sean Payton. Weren't you on his coaching staff before too? Like, those are the kind of things that I'm looking at. I'm just like, the dude, he's not it. He's not it. So we either accept the fact that we're going to be miserable for the next 5 to 10 years, because if you give them an opportunity to draft this coming quarter, listen, the Jets are most likely going to go 0-17 this year. We might luck into 2 wins. We might luck into 2 wins this year. You're telling me that's enough to keep Aaron Glenn after what you've already seen over the last 6 weeks? I think you'd be crazy too. I think, like, if you can tell the guy doesn't have the it factor to be a coach, a head coach at the NFL level, what are we hoping is going to be different next year? Are we hoping that next year he's learned from his mistakes of this year? I mean, it's feasible, it's possible, but, like, is he acknowledging that he's making these mistakes? It sounds like he's making excuses for the mistakes that he has made when clearly we can see him, and those excuses make no sense. So when are we gonna hold him to a standard? What is this? Do we even have a standard now for AG, or is it just like hopes and prayers that he figures it out at some point? I'm legit asking. Like, and the thing is this though, Dan Campbell, I would say no to the 3 years. I think by year 2 you realize, honestly, by year 1 you realize that those guys believed in Dan Campbell and they were fighting for Dan Campbell. Yeah, they lost a bunch of freaking games, but they fought for Dan Campbell regularly. They spoke highly of Dan Campbell. Like, our guys right now are parroting what they're being told by freaking AG. But do you think Garrett Wilson feels confident in his coaching staff when he clearly told us, I had no clue what we were doing going in that 2-minute drill before the second half? Like, that doesn't scream confidence when your young guys sitting there like, this made 0 sense. And then when the coach is trying to explain to us like we're a bunch of dummies, oh, the reason why I did it was because I didn't want to risk putting us in a bad situation, if we didn't get it. What are you talking about? Like, you went for it on 4th and 1 on our side of the field and you got it, and then you're telling me like 5 seconds later your thought process was like, ooh, that was risky. don't want to do anything like that again to go ahead and put us in the bad situation. Like, it just that didn't make sense to me, right? And then that tells me that this is a guy who's trying to make himself look smarter than he is, like trying to make himself seem wiser than he is. Like, why? Why? I mean, I don't know. Thank you, Tigo. Thank you very much. So this is what I was referring to with the Dan Campbell thing. The Lions were a bad team, but they had a lot of heart, a lot of passion. They fought every game. They fought. They just didn't have the skill set, the talent, but those guys would have ran through a brick wall for Dan Campbell. We're not seeing that. We just look bad and look stupid. We look bad and stupid at the same time. Well said, Tigo. Like, he keeps comparing to Dan Campbell. It's not the same thing at all. Dan Campbell had those boys like fighting. He had those boys going to war for him week in and week out. That whole leader of men thing we talk about all the time, Dan Campbell legitimately had those boys wanting to go to war for him day one. And that compounded on the culture. This right here, what we're compounding on is more losing. And now we're losing worse. So these guys who already know a tier of losing are starting to see a tier of losing that's worse than what they've experienced over the last couple of years. So this foundation he's trying to build, it's going into the ground and concaving, because it's you're losing worse now than how you were losing games before. I don't know, man. I just, like I said before, man, love AG. I loved it. I loved the hire. I was really pumped about this. But this part right here is why I'm like, I just don't know if he has it up here. Sorry. I just don't know if he has it up here. And then when you try to tell us in your press conference that, oh, you had a plan and you did that because you didn't want to risk what? You 4th and 1 on the side of the field, you go for it. And Miguel, just to run out the clock? Yes, this part. Everybody that keeps telling me, like, the roster this, the roster that. Look, man, I was told by everyone and their mom, to include myself, the last couple of years, the New York Jets had one of the best rosters in the NFL. This was the number one roster on several analyst boards. There were coaching stats that were talking about, like, man, that Jets roster is tight. Dan Campbell inherited a shit show. That team was talentless, and those boys still showed more fight than we've seen the New York Jets do. And I'm not blaming them on the Jets. The coach is supposed to set the tone. The culture setter, right? He's been telling us this whole time. That's what he's here to do. And what he's showing me is, I would love to say the same old Jets, but again, they're worse. They're worse than the same old Jets. So, again, we're staring down the barrel of an 0-17 season. I don't know when our first one's going to be. I don't think we can beat the freaking Panthers this week. Garrett Wilson is out too for the next, so you can chalk up the next couple of weeks as L's, because without Garrett Wilson, we have no shot offensively. Man, Tigo, we gotta get on the show together, bro, and just talk about this team, dog. I don't know what your Wednesdays look like. I'm gonna text you. I've been just this life, bro. Life. Listen, man, that's the show for tonight. It's rough, man. It's rough. Appreciate you, Infrared. Smash that like button. I didn't even have my ticker going the entire time. I forgot all about that. I was so heated about this team, and man. Look, I appreciate you guys for hanging out with me at the Hangar tonight. It's Wednesday night. I know that. The Hangar Hangout will be switching now to Wednesday nights, 8 p.m. Central, same time, different day. This is going to allow me to actually be able to jump on here, chop it up with you guys, and still be able to meet the daddy requirements, you know what I'm saying, as a father, taking kids to practices and stuff like that, and being at sports games. So I appreciate you guys for being willing to adjust with me. Listen, man, I don't want to keep doing, and I want to do a giveaway. I would love to do a giveaway. just get us a win. New York Jets, get us a win. If you think the New York Jets are going to get their first win this weekend, go ahead, leave a comment in regards to what you think the final score is going to be. If the New York Jets win, one of the comments that predicted the winner or closest to the winning score is going to go ahead and get a autographed giveaway next week. I will be doing that one and presenting it on Wednesday's show. So the Jets win this Wednesday, and you don't forget to like and subscribe, of course, but leave a comment that you predict what the score is going to be with the Jets, of course, getting a W. I'll be doing a giveaway next week. It'll be either an autographed mini helmet or an autographed jersey. Yeah, it'll be one of the two. Yeah, man, I got to find someone to go ahead and keep this exciting for us, right? Because Jets don't care, but we got. We're all we got. So I got Miguel like Jets 6, Panthers 16. Good point, infrared. We don't even have a QB, so having a wide receiver really doesn't matter. Yeah, like I really do believe 0-6-17 is on the horizon. Like I really do. And again, that hurts my soul to say it out loud because it sounds so gross. The Jets are going to get the first overall pick this year, and it's going to be between 0 and 2 wins. But I think 0-17 is very much on the books for us. Appreciate you, Sean. Appreciate you all for chopping it up with me, man, and hanging out. I know we went a little bit over tonight at the Hangar HangOut. But, yep, new day, same time. I'll see you guys next Wednesday. Again, if you think the Jets can win this game, leave a comment in regards to what your prediction for the score is going to be. Jets Vero Beach already coming through with a 20-14 score. We got freaking Chris with a 20-17 score. Again, put that in the comments because I won't be able to see these for next week. So why don't we jump off here and the comments become available? Do me a favor and lock those two scores in there so that way we can have that for next week. So if the Jets win and they win 20-14, congratulations, Vero Beach. Since you're the first one to go ahead and pick that score, you would be winning the autograph memorabilia next week. If it's 20-17, or 20-19, because Chris is closer, then congratulations, Chris. You be winning that. So, again, we got our first two predictions on what the Jets will get their first dub on Sunday and what that score is going to look like. Jets Worldwide, I appreciate you, brother, man. Nah, chins up, dog. Listen, hey, go Jets. Listen, I'm for the record, I hope I am completely wrong about this. I hope AG decides that he figures it out and he starts showing us week in and week out why he was chosen for this job. And I just look like a big dummy getting on here and running my mouth for freaking an hour and 10 minutes about why he ain't the guy. Prove me wrong. Please prove me wrong. I do not want to be right about this. I would love for the New York Jets to go ahead and make us fans who doubt them eat shit. Like, yeah, I want that. I would let this be my story. So I hope I am wrong. So the chin stays up, man. I watch this game every Sunday. It's hopeful. I watch it hopeful as a fan, but logically speaking, man, I know the pain is coming. So I'm hoping, again, that this week is different. Sean says we'll win a couple at the end so we don't get the number one pick. In Jets fashion, that wouldn't surprise me. Like in true New York Jets like fashion, to go ahead and have the number one pick secured, win the last 2 or 3 2 out of the last 3 games meaninglessly, dropping us behind the freaking Saints, who also need a quarterback, and they go get their guy. It would not shock me in the least bit, man, if that happened. Oh, no, trust me, man. The mock drafts are coming. I'm actually going to see if I can get Dom on to go ahead and do a mock draft with us because at this point, let's be honest, that's what we have to look forward to. It's time to get those things dialed up. 27-19 Panthers. That sounds about right. I think 19 is being very generous for us, but again, 27 points tonight. That sounds pretty close to what I think it's going to be this weekend too. All right, y'all. That's the show tonight, man. I appreciate you all. Y'all have a good night. I will see you guys next week. And, yeah, go Jets.
I can do it all, I will never fall. It's the Renaissance, you know that I got the mother sauce, man. You know I'm the boss, I know what it costs. Have you ever lost? I'm so versatile, yeah, I'm a Renaissance, man. I can do it all, I will never fall. It's the Renaissance, you know that I got the mother sauce, man. You know I'm the boss, I know what it costs. Have you ever